I spoke to a federal official recently who told me the real number is probably closer to 50 million illegal aliens living in the United States right now. So that leaves me confused. So you are watching in real time a digital prison being built around the rest of us on the basis of facial recognition and, quote, real IDs, where you can't conduct any business, you can't travel without verifying you are who you say you are, okay? That's the point of this. It's for our safety. But somehow we can't even know who lives in this country with facial recognition and real IDs? The federal government intrudes into every decision you make in your personal life, but somehow they're totally incapable with all of that technology of telling us how many non-citizens are living here illegally. I call bullshit on that. That's a lie. And I also wonder, like, what is the aggregate number of deportees in the last 100 days? If it's under 1 million, I'll just say I'm disappointed. And I say this to someone who voted for Trump, who loves Trump. I like Tom Homan. But, like, what is this? The scale of this, because this country is so large, is opaque to most people. They don't understand that our country was just completely changed forever, and it's not acceptable. I mean, I happen to live in a place that's really been affected by immigration, by refugee resettlement, which is, I think, a worse problem than illegal immigration, by the way, because at least illegal immigrants are showing a willingness to, put their own butt on the line to get a better life. There's something about that everybody admires. I don't admire anything about a church group, Catholic Charities or the million Protestant groups that move refugees from some refugee camp in Africa into my community where they languish, commit welfare fraud, commit crime. I'm not even attacking them. Like, I feel sorry for them too. You were just living in Sudan or Somalia and now you're living in Minneapolis or Portland, Maine. It's like, I feel sorry for you. No one really cares about the effect on you or your family, obviously. But the net effect on the people who live there is terrible. I can verify that. And no one even mentions it. It's like truly destroying the United States. It's the largest crime ever committed against us. I am not a racist. I'm not even insecure about it anymore since I've been called it so much. It's not in my heart. I'm not a racist. I am a nationalist who loves this country and has no other. And that is a true attack on the United States. And I think we need more resources, more seriousness, and higher numbers. Like, get back to me when you deport 5 million people.
This just hit.
Yeah.
As we were speaking, Bill Melugin of Fox News knew. ICE announces they've deported 65,682 illegals in the Trump administration's first 100 days and have arrested 66,000 and change illegals, 75% of whom have criminal charges or convictions. So we've arrested about 66,000 and we've deported 66,000. So that's a best case scenario of getting rid of or getting custody over about 120,000, Tucker. And that's not great. It's not great. They've been stymied at every turn. The local officials haven't allowed it. The courts, the ACLU. But I mean, I have to say even this, we're waiting on our big, beautiful bill so President Trump can get funding for his initiatives. Tom Homan's been jumping up and down saying, I have no place to put the people. They do have some certain time where we have to lock them up before we can ship them out while they get their, quote, due process. He's like, I'm running out of beds. So. I need help. That's what he's been saying. But what do you think of that? Because those numbers are low.
Why is it incumbent on us? First of all, stop refugee resettlement in the United States. It's destroyed a lot of communities. It's destroyed communities that I'm very familiar with. Destroyed them forever. So stop that immediately. We have no moral obligation to take a single new refugee, and we shouldn't, period. Second, Mexico. One word, Mexico. Mexico, a country that exists because of our largesse, because we move so much manufacturing in Mexico. I mean, Monterrey, Mexico, which is the economic engine of Mexico, wouldn't be so if it weren't for the United States. And so we have a lot of leverage over Mexico. By the way, they're sending us drugs, we're sending them jobs, and they're also sending us refugees and illegal immigrants from all over the world. How about we just move 1 million people to Tijuana tomorrow and say, you deal with it. You did this to us, you deal with it. And it was intentional. The anti-American sentiment, not among ordinary Mexicans, who are honestly some of my favorite people, I grew up next to them, awesome people, but their leaders hate the United States. They always have since the Mexican Revolution. That's why Leon Trotsky sought refuge in Mexico. There's a reason, because the leadership of Mexico is extremely anti-American, extremely ideologically left-wing, full atheist, by the way, in a Catholic country. It's a super dark management structure in Mexico and always has been, honestly, since the Aztecs. And they have no choice. They're the country that we should be applying pressure to. Here are illegal aliens that walked across your sovereign territory to get into our country. You deal with them. And you cut the deal with Guatemala. And you cut the deal with Honduras or Peru.
What do you make of all the
due
due process? Due process. We have to give them due process before, this is the United States. We have to give due process before we kick them out.
Really, I'm for due process, and I am for due process specifically for me. I'm an American citizen. American citizens pay for this system. Their ancestors built this system, and they deserve its fruits. And the first among them is fairness and due process. They're basically the same thing. So that I'm not that concerned whether someone who broke my law to get into my country and is taking welfare from my pocket gets due process. I'm not that concerned. Second, after 3 years of getting a daily lecture about democracy and how it dies in darkness. Democracy. What is democracy? Democracy is the idea that the people in a country run the country. They make the big decisions. They own it. They're not slaves or serfs. They're shareholders in this enterprise called America, and they have a say. So now those same people are telling me that some appointed, unelected federal judge gets to invite 7 billion people into my country and there's nothing I can do about it? Yeah, I don't think so. I'm not playing along with that. I'm totally for balance of power. I'm for the current system as envisioned, which, by the way, is going away. It's not sustainable with this population. Let's be honest. It's not. Nobody cares about the Constitution anymore. I do, because I'm a legacy American. But none of the newcomers, the 50 million people who just got here, they don't care at all. Why would they? It's not their heritage. It's mine. So you're going to lecture me about that and then tell me that we can't stop anybody coming here on our dime who just feels like coming here? I'm ignoring you. I'm literally ignoring you. What are you going to do about it? That's how I personally feel about it, because that's the end of democracy. You're violating the people's will through your your appointed power, not your elected power. The power does not derive from the population. It derives from the appointment that you got, and you're making the central decision in our society. I don't think you are.
So how do they speed it up? I mean, Trump's done so much, Alien Enemies Act, and he expanded expedited removal, and we're back to remain in Mexico, and he has home and out. Like, how does he speed it up?
The first thing you do is just say, anyone who's a non-citizen of the United States is ineligible for any federal benefit. That means no public schooling. That means no food stamps or SNAP. That means no housing vouchers. That means no benefit designed for American citizens can go to a non-citizen. If you want those benefits, become a citizen. And if you're not a citizen, you get nothing. Why would you? How can you how are we sitting here and watching every small hospital in the United States is going under right now because people who have no right to be here are using the emergency room. Bring your kid to an emergency room outside of like some tiny gated rich community, and you will find out that the whole system is collapsing under the weight. I'm sure they're all good people. I'm not even attacking them. Like, they're doing what I would do. They're using the available largesse to help their families. I get it. We're the criminals here. We're allowing this. So you just say, now on executive order, no non-citizen, period, can receive federal benefits, period. The president can control that. And, then we'll find out who's here for a better life and to bootstrap his way to success, and who's here because there's just a lot of free stuff from a very weak, overindulgent, generationally wealthy country that has lost track of reality. And the reality is open borders and a welfare state cannot coexist. And we'll find out. We'll find out.
We definitely have to make greater progress than this, because, I mean, it doesn't get easier as time goes on. That's not enough. 130,000 or so in the first 100 days is underwhelming. Tariff wars, stubborn inflation, no wonder gold has been routinely hitting all-time highs. And volatile markets like the one we have now don't sit on the sidelines with your head in the sand. You can take control and safeguard your savings. This is why so many Americans today are turning to Birch Gold Group. They have helped tens of thousands convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. Is it time for you to hedge against economic instability with gold? To learn how to own physical gold in a tax-sheltered account, just text MK to the number 989898. Birch Gold will send you a free, no-obligation info kit. Again, text MK to the number 989898. With an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau and countless 5-star reviews, Birch Gold has helped so many protect their savings with gold. It took us decades to get into the tangled mess they're trying to unpack now in D.C. How long is it going to take to get out of it, and at what cost? Text MK to 989898 today. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.